Jags Report Live, coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Well, welcome to Sneakers, everybody in Jax Beach. We got ourselves a victory Monday. You can feel it in town, right? When the Jags win, everybody's smiling a little bit more. Got the kids out. A heck of a crowd here in Jax Beach at Sneakers. We do this every Monday night, win or lose, but man, they are much more fun after a W and a 24-0 dominating performance by the Jags over the Colts. Brent Martineau, Dan Hicken, Jags Report Live. Let's go.
I like my man in the helmet right there. That looks good. I like that guy. So
what a way to get on TV.
That's the kind of passion that we need, and then we had at the bank yesterday. What a well-rounded victory.
Just shows confidence in them and kind of where they are, the maturity of the football team. And, you know, not every weekend's going to be like that, but yesterday it was, and it's something that the guys can kind of feed off of.
Andre Cisco from the Jacksonville Jaguars now here at Jags Report Live and Sneakers in Jax Beach. Can you tell we're much more fun to be around when you guys win games?
Yeah, and it's more fun to be around than just be around town after a big W like that.
Brett, I didn't get the memo. I, too, is going to wear my muscle shirt tonight. Like Andre, it looks good. You know, I thought that would have been a good idea if we both were, you know, kind of.
Yeah, well, you pulled out the extra large instead of the medium, which was probably a smart move on your part. Take us through the interception, man.
Yeah, I mean, end of the game, we had a point where, you know, we was on the field a few times consecutively, and just looking to close the game. Devin had to pick literally the play right before this one. And so we was just, you know, hunting, and I was able to make the play and get off the field.
All right,
this is your MO, though, right? I mean, this is what you do.
Yeah, no, it was a great opportunity. And once I saw the ball in the air, I was like, finally. You know what I mean?
Hey, you were going to make sure those feet got down, too.
Yeah,
you looked down to make sure I got both in here, right?
It was a good toe tap. I thought it was sweet. Yeah, I thought it was sweet.
That was good. By the way, people say turnovers come in bunches. Apparently they do.
Yeah, I mean, and you putting pressure on the offense, they're in a position where they got to score. They have to move the ball. You will soon come up with some good opportunities, you know?
I'm not sure in the game plan was a shutout, but that's what happened. But we could see easily what the game plan was against Indianapolis offensively on Sunday.
It's time for the game plan, sponsored by TIAA Bank.
Well, this was it, right?
Yeah,
Keep everything in front of them.
Absolutely. Just throw short passes, take what they're going to give you. And then, again, I want to credit the receivers, man. Look at the effort by ETN on that one. You remember Evan Ingram fighting hard to get a first down against Gilmore. I mean, so Trevor was patient, had to be patient. One of the reasons why he set a franchise record and completed 83% of his passes yesterday, 25 of 30, an outstanding performance by the Jaguars quarterback.
And by the way, I think that's harder than people think it is, just to take that. The receivers told me in the locker room after the game, hey, we want to go deep.
Yeah.
We want to go make plays, but they stuck to the game plan. Meanwhile, the other side of it, like, listen, we could have been the defensive coordinator yesterday. The game plan was stop Jonathan Taylor, and they did it.
Andre, you knew going in we had to stop Jonathan Taylor.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's physicality. It's a mindset that you got to carry from the minute you know you're playing the Colts on Monday, Tuesday, introing the team. Like, you know, the approach to the game is, you know, stop the run. Once you stop the run, you're able to get opportunities like we did in the back end to make plays on the ball. And I think guys were, from the start, fitting the run and shut him down. So that's why I feel like he didn't even have many carries.
Did we have more guys up to stop the run yesterday? Was that part of the plan? Did you come up a little bit more than normal? Were you in the same? How did that work?
Nah, I mean, it was our normal fronts. You got an eye on the run. You know who's in the backfield, and you just play it as such. Yeah.
Obviously, the mantra this offseason has been stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. So it's good to see the Jaguars do that and get the job done. We could have picked a bunch of plays for the power play of the week, but we chose this one.
Power Play of the Week, sponsored by IBEW Local 177, powering Jacksonville since 1912.
In case you didn't know, football at the National Football League level is a tough game. And, I mean, Marvin Jones Jr. is a tough dude, Brent. I mean, he took some shots yesterday.
Man.
And he'd get up. And I didn't like this taunting call. Like, he's getting up, said, hey, I'm okay. Now, he might have added a couple expletive deletives along the way. But he's just saying, hey, I'm okay, man, because you went helmet to helmet on me. Taunting is when you're standing over a guy and taunting him, right, Andre? I mean, Tough call.
That's a new rule, so they big on kind of keeping it friendly between the teams, and they're gonna call anything.
Yeah.
Well, don't get them in trouble with the officiating.
All right,
We don't want them to get fined, all right? But what doesn't make sense is that when you have player safety and he gets his head taken off, that's the equivalent of him doing this.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't seem to make sense.
That evened out the penalties on that, but man, oh man.
Don't worry, I can't get fined, just you. So we're keeping a guy where you said. Well, at least not by the NFL.
Oh yeah, the fans are pumped. We're pumped. The Jags are 1-1. Helmet Kid is loving his airtime tonight, so he's digging that as we welcome you back to Sneakers. Hicken, Martineau, Andre Cisco, domination over the Colts. Why do you have their number?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, seeing how far goes back, though, it is pretty funny that they just can't seem to win when they come to the bank.
Yeah, you got to keep that rolling, by the way. You know, we saw Doug in the locker room after the game. It seems like you guys like him. Now, I mean, it's easy to say, right? You just won a football game. But, I mean, there's a respect for Peterson because of the Lombardi Trophy, for how he treated you guys this offseason, how he treats you. I mean, what is it about him?
I think the biggest thing is he's consistent with who he is each day. He doesn't switch up. Like, the approach is we're going to work to win, and he keeps that consistent. And everything we do, the day after the games, we come and do the same thing, win or loss. So I think guys can appreciate that, and then especially when we get results like yesterday.
Well, that streak is a thing. Let's bring in Action Sports Jack's Stuart Weber. He has more on, well, maybe the Jags just never losing again at home to the Indianapolis Colts.
Never again.
Ever. Here's Stuart.
Over the last 8 seasons, these Jacksonville Jaguars have certainly seen some lows, including the last 2 years being the worst team in the NFL to get that #1 draft pick. Well, even through those lows of lows, including a 1-win season, one thing has always persevered, and that would be beating the Indianapolis Colts here at TIAA Bank Field.
It was another opportunity for us to go out there and dominate the game, and that's the way we treated it. For them, I don't know what they thought about over there or what they did, they coached, whatever, but I know when we was in our locker room, man, we knew we needed to do. So we did what we did.
I think everybody knows about them not winning here in a while, and for us, it's just trying to keep that streak going, which did extend it to another year, so to next year. So, but we still got a lot of division games left. We still got a full season ahead of us.
This is how we think about it, man. Every team is good. This is the NFL. Every team is good. You can't look past a team. You know, coming here, respect us. All we want is respect, and that's that.
And while the Jags have been great against the Colts here in Jacksonville, the question is, can they carry over both that game plan and that performance to the second meeting? That's in less than a month up in Indianapolis. If they do, Jaguars will be in pretty good shape when it comes to the AFC South in division games. For now, at TIAA Bank Field, Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jacks.
Well, Dan, here's the deal. I mean, I think it's a formula, right? You got to win most of your home games and most of your division games. And if you do that, you're usually in good shape. And so that's a big win yesterday. And if they can kind of repeat it against Indianapolis and Houston's, it's just a wide open division for the Jags to get games.
9-8 could win it. Andre, I'm curious, when you go home on Sunday night, do you like to watch the highlight shows and look at all the NFL games, or do you just sort of pass on that and relax? How do you handle a Sunday night?
I go straight to watching football. The games are so fun to watch that it's hard to just pass them by.
Well, it was a crazy day in the NFL yesterday, but in the division, you saw Houston, they lost, right, to Denver, and we know Tennessee plays Buffalo tonight, so it should be interesting. But congratulations on being in first place early on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
Yeah, by the way, nobody in this town
we ain't in first place much,
no.
So we're going to take it.
We'll take it. And nobody in this town will mind, by the way, if you just wear a Bills jersey tonight and root against Tennessee, because this whole town roots against Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
So it's an easy task for everybody here tonight. Hey, you know who continues to impress, Dan, is Christian Kirk as well, man.
Yeah.
This guy, he's good. He's a pro's pro, and he is a legit threat for the Jags on offense.
What's he like, Andre, to go against in practice every day? Does he make you better, and hopefully you make him better, because he's off to a terrific start?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the whole receiving corps plays well off each other, but especially him. Him and Trevor are on the same page at all times.
I would say, too, I think the receivers, maybe I had them underrated a little bit, but I think they've been terrific through the first. I mean, Zay Jones is making plays and taking advantage of his opportunities, and Marvin is obviously a veteran, and so I think that group of three has been outstanding so far. I
agree. I think they all like kind of embrace the roles that they have, and they've looked really good. I agree.
Well, and Doug Peterson moves them around in a good way. I think he's been really good so far, including on our drive of the day.
The drive of the day, driven by your local Ford dealers.
Well, look at this one, 92 yards. I thought this was big because, you know, this is what winning teams do.
This is the knockout punch.
Man, the game was over. When they did this, they had this drive. The game was over after that. It was toward the end of the third quarter. They were dominating. And 92 yards off your own goal line? Yeah, that's pretty darn good stuff.
I wish, and I would like to see, what did you do during that drive? Did you go eat some lunch? I mean, that was a long 12 plays. How did you, are you into it, or are you working on stuff? What are you doing on the sideline during that?
I'm into it, but honestly, seeing the numbers that you guys just showed, I didn't know that they even drove that far. Like, it's like they're just on the field for so long, getting so many first downs that it kind of time just starts passing by. You're like, oh, Trevor doing his thing, Chris Kirk doing his thing, and you're on the sideline enjoying it, honestly.
I want to suggest a Cisco cam for next week when let's get Andre when he's on the sideline, see what he's up to.
I like that a lot, by the way. You know, Mondays you go in and you fix things, right? In the film room, the meeting room. I mean, let's be honest. Was there a lot to fix in the first three quarters of that football game? That was about as good as it gets.
I mean, there's always a little bit, but, I mean, there's a lot to be happy with. I think that kind of overpowered some of the mistakes, but, you know, it's the coach's job to, you know, make sure they're still letting you know when you messed up and what could be cleaner.
Is it a big deal? You know, we've had to ask guys a lot over the years, how are you going to handle losses, how are you going to break the streak, but now you got to handle winning, right? Sometimes it takes some maturity to do that as well.
Yeah, I know personally I'm going to be working on that this week, just making sure that we could all, you know, stay focused on the task and not trying to do too much because we just won or trying to, you know, get ahead of ourselves and just, you know, stay humble.
Good to see the Jags fans out here at Sneakers in Jax Beach celebrating a win, 24-0 over the Colts. Monday, 7 o'clock, Fox 30. We do this each and every Monday. Andre Cisco joined us the first couple of weeks, and we appreciate Andre's time. Brett Martineau, Dan Hicken, of course. And you went into the archives a little bit.
Well, last week we had, you know, we talked about Syracuse with Andre, right? We gave him a quiz, got an A+ on it.
Well.
Very proud of him. And so I want to go a further step. He played at IMG in Florida. He's not a Florida kid. So first off, tell us why you decided to go to IMG as we watch you in action. That's Andre circled for you there, by the way.
It was a little random. I went down there for a camp, like in the summer, going into my junior year of high school, and came across the coaches, and they liked what I was doing. I was playing corner at the time, and ended up finishing high school out there.
This read right here, he went back 20 yards and made the interception. That's where he became the ball-hawking safety that he is, and now he has won an NFL interception this year already.
But real quick, if you could play on the offensive side of the ball, what position would you have played?
I want to say receiver, but I'd be a decent running back, too.
Yeah.
I feel like I got some vision and speed and make stuff happen back there.
Dan, everybody thinks they can carry the ball. Yeah. Even you think you can carry the ball.
You know what one injury is poison to NFL players? You never want to hear it. It's the hamstring.
Yeah,
because it can plague you the whole year.
And that's the Chargers are being careful with one of those injuries to their top receivers right now. Let's bring in Olivia Tassley with our injury report.
This injury report is brought to you by Flagler Health, orthopedic specialists.
Hamstring strains are one of the most common injuries in all of sports. In fact, studies show there are an average of 176 of them during an NFL season. Even in Jacksonville, we saw Devin Lloyd deal with it during the preseason. I spoke with our doctor from Flagler Health Plus about the different levels of hamstring tears and strains.
Hamstring strains and hamstring tears. There's three tendons that make up the hamstring themselves. They insert on what's called the ischial tuberosity, which is kind of the bone that you feel when you're sitting down on a chair. And there's different levels of tearing or strain. So a strain would just be in the muscle itself. That's very common that you see in receivers, running backs, things like that. When they're running and they kind of grab the back of their leg. A complete tear, you can tear off 1, 2, or 3 of those tendons. And again, depending on how much is torn and what level the athlete is, obviously in NFL players, usually they are repaired, but it again depends on the situation of each athlete.
The Jags will face the Chargers this week. One of their main wideouts, Keenan Allen, has been on the injury list with a hamstring injury. So we'll see if he is ready to go on Sunday. For the Flagler Health Plus Injury Report, I'm Olivia Tassley. Guys, let's go back to you.
Dan, it's been a very busy 24 hours for me.
Yes.
Because the calls and requests to be in the Sunshine and Rainbows Club just keep on coming
Applications
in.
available?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
It's amazing how busy we are. Trevor Lawrence gets on the Sunshine and Rainbows board this week.
He's had a lot of honors, but this is his biggest.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Yes.
He was terrific, wasn't he, Andre? He was awesome.
Nah, he really was. And I started noticing right from the beginning of how, like, the rhythm he was playing with, and he finished big, too.
All right, then Doug Peterson.
Well, I thought he had a terrific game plan, and the schemes that he uses, it was refreshing to watch, and it's great seeing receivers get open here.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said earlier, he's consistent, and it pays off for all of us.
Here comes my favorite, though. We welcome him to the Sunshine and Rainbows Club.
Oh.
The downed Colt player and fan.
I was going to say, who is that?
Yeah. We were looking for the owner from Ruth Chris the other night, but we didn't quite make it with him.
Yeah, Jim Irsay didn't make the list. All right, man. Hey, go out west, get another W. How about it? Then you guys can maybe put something together. That would mean a lot, I would guess.
Yeah, big one against a big team, and across the country, we got a big challenge ahead. Expect to make it happen, though.
How dangerous are they?
They got a lot of dudes. We took a peek at their personnel today, and it's just like, okay, you know the challenges at hand.
It's great, though, and it's great to see the confidence. Great congratulations on the performance yesterday. Great to get our first victory early on, and now 2 roadies, and, we go out and play well there and build off of that, and off we go.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen. Andre Cisco, everybody, thanks for coming out to Sneakers in Jax Beach. On Jags Report Live, Andre, a couple weeks in. We'll have him back on the show, of course, as well. Come on out each and every Monday and watch on Fox 30. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. On game day, all of Duval knows where to go for all things Jags.
CBS 47 and Fox 30, your official
station of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Come on, you see the logo. We official, babe.
Exclusive interviews.
From the studio to the sideline. Now that's official.
And in the locker rooms.
Yep, we're that official.
Join the official station of your Jaguars for Countdown to Kickoff. Sunday at 11:30 on CBS 47. Brought to you by your local Ford dealers.